Hello folks, welcome back to my world of stuff. It's new release, Blu-ray 4K day today. It's Monday, and I've actually got a new release on the day of release, courtesy of Mr. Amazon. Film I'm very much looking forward to seeing on 4K because it's Edge of Darkness, or Live, Die, Repeat. Came out in 2014. It's a Tom Cruise science fiction film. I'm a big fan of Tom Cruise. I think he's one of the last great film stars. And this is one of his better science fiction films of the last 10, 12 years. He's done things like Oblivion, which was enjoyable, but this for me is Cruise at his best. Really clever time loop, time travel, Groundhog Day type idea with an alien invasion sort of setting. It's a really good film. I picked this up today on 4K, as I said, from Amazon. It was due yesterday on Sunday, but it didn't come. It came today, so I don't mind too much. Let's have a quick look at it before I open it up. And it's going to be this week's retro movie review. I know it's not incredibly retro, but it's an old film that's got, hopefully, a new lease of life on 4K. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this looks like on 4K. So looking at the package, I'm sure it's nothing special, but nice slip cover with the cover image on the back, or the guff about the film, and specifications, extra features and so on. The disc itself, of course, is exactly the same. In a nice black case, as befitting the 4K format. Let's get the cellophane off, and as I said, it's just a bog standard. There we are, bog standard 4K and Blu-ray discs. No art on the discs, no back cover art, just a fairly standard release. But hey, doesn't bother me because it's the film I want to see more than anything else. It's nice if it comes in a nice package, but that you tend to get in special editions and box sets and things. So for a film that is effectively a re-release on 4K, I'm very happy with this. So I'm looking forward to watching this again tonight in the cinema room. I shall report back on it very, very soon. Right, welcome back. Edge of Tomorrow in 4K. Edge of Tomorrow stars, of course, Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, Brendan Gleeson, Bill Paxton. Directed by Doug Liman, runs for 113 minutes. I've just watched the new 4K physical media release, which has come out today, Monday. Before I talk about the film, I'll just talk about how it looks on screen in 4K. So that's something which I think people are often interested in. This is not a colourful film. The colours don't pop and leap off the screen with this because it's a military film. It's very gunmetal. There's not a lot of colour. What colour there is sort of, certainly when I was watching it now, it's sort of heightened and sort of bleached slightly. So this is not a film that's going to test your 4K in terms of separating colour tones, the colour palette and so on. And I would recommend that if you're going to watch this again, you watch it in the darkest possible room, because it's quite a dark film, especially in the last act. I watched it in the cinema room with the lights out on a 100-inch screen, and it looked great. It sounded good. I haven't got the most sophisticated sound set up yet, but the sound was pretty good. The sound was sharp and clear. The dialogue was sharp. So it's a good transfer, but it's not one that you're going to go, wow, that's, you know, some 4Ks you look at them and the clarity is pinpoint, but this isn't that sort of film. Probably not really designed for this sort of format, but it looks very good. It sounds very good. But to get the best from it, you need to recreate the cinema experience if you can. Turn off all the lights, draw the curtains, cut out all natural light and unnatural light, if you like, and just watch it in the dark, as you would in the cinema, because you will get the most benefit from it then. The story then is, of course, as I say, it was released in 2014. It's set in 2020. It tells the story of an alien invasion of Earth by creatures called mimics. They're sort of metallic, tangled, sort of arachnid type creatures, great balls of sort of ferocious metal. They've swept across the Earth. Humanity is fighting a rearguard action against them. But it does seem that the mimics seem to be able to predict humanity's next move in the ongoing battle. Our boy Tom Cruise is a US major who deals with sort of the media side of things, a job he admits early on in the film he took up to avoid getting involved in the physicality of the war, but he finds himself actually forced to join the front line of a group of rugged, tough soldiers who are travelling to the front line, a battlefield, beach battlefield in France, as a sort of a bridgehead against the creatures reaching England. He's completely confused. First of all, he refuses to go. Then he realises that he has no choice. He has to go. He does everything he can to get out of this particular commitment, but he can't. So he meets up the rest of his troop. He's absolutely terrified. They all clamber into these big metallic sort of transformer type robot suits, fighting units. Drop ships take them across the channel, but they're under attack almost immediately because the aliens know they're coming, even though they shouldn't. And it's effectively a bloodbath. They're all wiped out, including Tom. Our boy's killed. Suddenly, though, he's not killed. He's back to life. And he finds himself back at the recruitment facility in Heathrow, living the same day again. He goes through the same thing. He's baffled, he's confused, he can't understand what happens. But it always ends up the same way. He ends up back on the beach, he ends up being killed some slightly different way. He realises that something very weird is going on, very strange is going on, until one day during the battle, he's spotted by a female soldier played by Emily Blunt. And before she and he are both killed, she tells him to find her. He realises that she knows exactly what's going on, and he tracks her down when he comes back to life and discovers that she once had this strange ability, which he now has, of being killed and reliving the same day. And he eventually discovers that the aliens have the ability to turn back time and to recreate a day when it doesn't go to their advantage. It's quite complicated. He's actually, during his arrival on the beach, he's sort of soaked in blood of one of these particular blue creatures, and that then gives him the ability to travel back and relive the day again. And the film, as I said, has this sort of Groundhog Day time loop thing, where every time he's killed and goes back, he tries to find some way to stop what's happening, to find out what's happening to him, and find some way to get through the alien defense system. It's a very exciting film. It's very good. It's a very clever film. It's very much a war film. It's all about combat and battle. And it's nice to see Tom Cruise not playing the rugged, tough guy immediately. He becomes the hero figure. I don't think it's any big spoiler to say he grows into his role as a soldier. But he's a coward at the beginning. And that's, I do like to... I love Tom Cruise. I think he's great. But it's nice to see him playing against type, as he does in, say, films like Collateral, where he's a hitman. And this, where he's, first of all, he doesn't want to be involved in any of this. He wants to be outside looking in. He doesn't want to be in the middle of it all. So it's a very gritty sort of high concept. I love the idea of it. I love this sort of time loop, Groundhog Day type thing, even though we've seen that before in films and books and TV. But it's done very well here. I think it becomes slightly wearing when you keep going back and keep going back. But once it starts moving forward, once it starts advancing, and once that Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt's character, they manage to get off the beach. That's the one thing they can't do, because during one of his rebirths, if you like, Tom Cruise's character, he identifies where the alien brain is, if you like, and it's somewhere in Paris. And then the battle is to sort of live long enough to get off the beach to infiltrate that base and destroy the brain that controls the creatures. That's basically where the story takes us. It's very spectacular. The effects still look great, even, it's only 8 years ago. Effects have moved on quite a bit since then, but this still looks good. The aliens are sort of ferocious, thrashing, tentacled, spidery things. And it rattles along really well. The action scenes are terrific. The battle scene on the beach, without being crass, reminded me slightly of that sort of chaos of something like Saving Private Ryan, where people are landing on the beach and being killed instantly, and there's explosions and things going on, aircraft crashing. It's really chaotic and mad and insane. The last third then takes us into Europe when they finally get towards finding where the super brain is. And that's where it gets really dark in every sense of the word. The picture gets very dark. What colour there is gone. This is one of the reasons you need to watch this film in the dark. Because if there's one light on distracting you from the screen, you're not going to see what's happening on the screen. It's very shadowy, it's very grey, very bleak and very dark. But it's a great film. It's a very clever film. It's a very intelligent science fiction film, which does something different with familiar ideas. I love this film when I saw it in 2014 and again in 2015. I don't think that I enjoyed it quite as much this time. Maybe because I've seen it before and I know the hoops that the plot goes through. I think it just seemed to take a long time to get where we knew it was going this time. But it's a great film. If you've not seen it before, it's very inventive, action-packed, and you really can't go wrong with Tom Cruise. He is, like I said, he's the last great film star, so I thoroughly recommend it. But as I said, if you pick up the 4K, don't expect a blaze of colour and spectacle and vivid imagery, because it's not that sort of film. So that's Edge of Tomorrow, which was nice to revisit. Let me know if you've seen the film in the past, what you think of it, what you thought of it, if you're going to pick up the 4K. As I said, it's not one which I would hold up as a great example of the 4K format, purely because it's not made that way and it's not meant to be like that. But it's a good, clear picture. Very vivid, but it's not a big colourful extravaganza. And I'm going to give Edge of Tomorrow, on my revisit, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It is a good film, but I think it's one that once you've seen it, it loses a little bit of its originality, because you know the tricks that it's playing and the way it's telling its story. But it's a great film. It's another solid entry into the Tom Cruise filmography, although it wasn't actually a particularly big hit. And there has been some talk of a sequel. I don't really see the point in that, or where you go with the sequel, because the story ends in a certain way, as you know if you've seen it. But yeah, I think as a standalone sci-fi war film, it's a triumph. Right, thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this video, if you've stumbled across this channel, stick around. There might be other things you're interested in, so just press that subscribe button, which is probably over there by the time I flip the picture. Press the subscribe button, press the like button, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you very soon for some more content, as they call it. Till I do, yeah, keep clicking the stuff.